right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Up and In Show. We are on a couch, but not the purple one. We are here at our partners of Sigma, engineers and constructors. And with Abby Alonzo, are you like thrown off right now because you're the guest / kind of hosting this with me?
It's a little.
Like, you don't know what to do?
I don't know which role
You're like,
to
I don't know what to do with my hands. Like, yeah.
I don't know.
Why don't you just sit back and relax? You're scaring me. Like,
this is what I said before the show started. I can't sit back all the way because my feet are gonna kick like this.
Well, you just don't have to move them. Why do you have to just? Why can't they just chill? Yeah. Anyway, welcome back to another episode. Thank you guys for being here. If you guys watch the show, you guys know Abby. If you were here for Abby, you obviously know Abby.
It's my third episode.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is this 3 on Up and In?
Yeah.
Damn,
my first one was my second week. What?
I wouldn't have done number 3 already.
Come on, this one's going to be great.
No, I know. But yeah, we just wanted to provide a little update for you. We had something fall through. Our guest this week, we're doing some pretty big things, I guess, the last couple weeks. You know, they were in the Olympics. Yeah. So we're going to do a little crossover episode with Kristen and Taryn. TKN Volleyball are representatives from Team USA, so that'll be next week. But so we just wanted to play catch up because we've been traveling and doing a million things, and so just wanted to catch up with y'all. But again, we wouldn't be able to do this stuff without our incredible sponsor, St. Rock Vodka, the official vodka of the NIL Bayou Traditions Collective, which means you drink a bottle of vodka, portions of the proceeds go back into a pot for our athletes. That'll let us keep winning national championships, all that kind of good stuff. Rejuven Medical, our anti-aging friends here in town in Baton Rouge and all over the state of Louisiana and really the Southeast, maybe the Southwest one day. They're expanding. But they do all kinds of crazy, great stuff for your body, you know, hormone replacement therapy, that kind of stuff. And if you're into skin care routines, Botox, fillers, all that good stuff, great people over at Rejuven Me. And then Fresh Chef Kitchen, make sure you guys use Anthony 10. Not Abby 10. Anthony 10.
I have a code too.
You guys get 10% off your first order. They are great. They're meal preppers. Here in Baton Rouge, they have a spot over on Airline if you just want one meal, quick meal during the day. But they have all kinds of plans. They do stuff in bulk. It's absolutely great food, high quality. So if you're on the run, you're a high performer, that kind of stuff, it's a great option for you if you guys live here in town in Baton Rouge, if you're an athlete, all that kind of good stuff. So I wouldn't be able to do this stuff without those guys, and we thank them very, very much. So make sure you guys go all check them out. They're always tagged in our episodes and our show notes, but show them some love, please. They're awesome. So anyway.
Can I take over now? Can I guest host Up and In?
You're not allowed to talk.
No, that's the whole point of this. I get to ask you about what's been going on.
Okay, that's
good.
You
have to talk about it, right?
I have to talk on my podcast. I don't like that.
It's a special episode. I'm hosting Up and In.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's funny. The first episode we did, I started asking you questions.
I know.
Second week of work.
Relax. I'm asking you questions.
But Anthony has a lot of cool people come on this podcast, people that are doing big things. He fails to let everybody else know that he's doing big things. So we're going to dive into that. We had an eventful, 2.5 months?
Yeah, okay. I thought you were going to say weeks because I'm like, it feels like years.
No. It's been like nonstop for about 2.5 months. So let's go back a little bit and let the people know what's been going on. First trip, I think that kicked off, not first trip, but like kicked off this like escapade of travel and everything going on.
Escapade.
I don't even know what that word means. It just came out of my mouth.
Sounds right. I think
it's right. I think it's right.
I think it's a real word.
We went to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
To do some content.
Yep.
Called The Player's Dealer. Do you want to talk a little bit about what The Player's Dealer is, what we're trying to build there?
Yeah, it's been something that's been in the works for a year, 2 years, maybe even longer. I don't know. We've tried to launch it, a few times. It's taken some twists and turns, but I think it's going to be something that's going to be at the heart and soul of cards and culture, culture media, and be able to be that glue and that bridge that kind of connects the dots between the retail space, the media space, and all the stuff that we're creating and how we're innovating in the collectibles world, right? So I played baseball. I was fortunate enough to have a great career. As far as length, it was awesome to me. It afforded me, a lot of luxuries in life and opened up a lot of doors, met a lot of great people. But my biggest regret during that time was not collecting things that were important to me, that were memories. I just kind of took for granted where I was at, what I was doing, the people that I was around. I just thought it was going to be there forever, right? And, it was taken away from me pretty quick. Now, granted, I decided not to go back and stuff like that, but I didn't realize how quick my life was going to be changing, and that kind of stuff. And So the players dealer is kind of a baby project that is going to be a passion piece for me. That's going to connect all the things that I've been doing the last 7 years, but then also kind of allow me to get back in the game and hopefully teach and educate and work with some of these great athletes that we see on TV that are playing our games and that kind of stuff, and help them build their collectibles portfolio. And that's the thing that, again, I wish I would have done. So when I was done playing ball, I would have this cool stuff to show my kids eventually one day, but my nieces and nephews, my friends and family. And so, obviously I've been in this world business-wise for the last 3 or 4 years. And so the players dealer is going to be me working with players, going around the country and helping them build their collectibles portfolio. It's going to be fun.
Players, can we talk about who we went and worked with?
Yeah,
because you've
cool.
got, I'm gonna let you go. Who have we been working with?
Yeah, so again, this concept has been around a little bit where, we've pivoted a few times with this. And the first concept was Josh Jung, who's all-star third baseman for the Texas Rangers, won the World Series last year as a rookie. Would have been rookie of the year last year if he didn't get hurt for about 6 to 8 weeks probably. And just an absolutely great kid from Texas Tech. Fortunately, I met him, in 2018, 19, something like that, right when he got drafted. And so I've known him for a little while.
I did not know it was
that
that long.
I met him at Marucci, yeah.
Oh, shit.
He got drafted in 2019, I believe. No, 2020, I guess.
Still, I didn't realize.
Yeah, so I met him right around that time. He might have still been in college, honestly. He might have been his junior year. I can't remember. No, he had just gotten drafted. And so I met him at Marucci, and we were in a suite together later that night, on Saturday. I saw him on a Friday and then saw him in the suite on Saturday and hung out with him a lot and just got to know him, and he was a great kid. The 10-year age gap between us, but still friendly enough and hit it off. And then Jason Hernandez, one of my best friends that I grew up with, probably my best friend, he's a marketing agent for Scott Boras Corporation. So he's worked with Josh, and Josh was interested in cards and connected the dots between us. And so last year I got connected with Josh during his rookie year and just sold him some cards and helped him start his collection and get into it. But now he's absolutely taken off in it. And so his collection is badass. And so, yeah, now we've worked with him, and we're thinking about making the show around him and the season around him. But then he got hurt, and, just life happens, and it's really hard to build a season around one specific player. So we pivoted, and I'm going to be working with just multiple players per season. And Josh is one of the first ones just because he's, so into the hobby and he's learning so much. So he was a great first kind of candidate for us. And so we're doing some really cool stuff with him, helping him organize his collection, doing all the logistics for it, all the dirty work, I guess, if you will, right? Like he wants to rip and he wants to chase his cards and buy his cool cards and be proud of them. But we kind of come in and do all the dirty work for, organizing his collection, selling off stuff, sending stuff to a vault, encouraging him to send stuff to a vault so it's insured and not just laying around in his house because he's got some pretty badass memorabilia.
Yeah.
And so that was where, we went to Dallas right before LA. No. Yeah.
You're getting your trips mixed up.
No, Dallas was before LA, right? Because the way the show is going to come out.
Oh.
No, it was.
Yeah, okay. You gave up our secret. We're filming out of order. But yes, Dallas
no, we're not, because
was
technically that was a sizzle
LA.
reel now.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not technically episode 1 yet.
Okay, so fair.
Yeah, again, this thing has taken a lot of different pivots and turns. But anyway, yeah, we went out to LA with Josh because he wants to start a series where he's ripping with athletes or players that he's playing against. And
where is that going to live?
That's going to be on his YouTube channel that we're going to start. So
that we already started.
Yeah,
there's no content on it. Don't get ahead of yourselves. Yeah. But we're getting there. Yeah.
But that's another thing. We're building these channels for these athletes. We're documenting it. We're doing all kinds of stuff just to kind of encourage them to build their own brand. So that way they can go out and they can make some more money off themselves. They can engage with fans better. They can have a lot of memories. They have documentation of the cool things that they're doing. And so the first guy that we got to sit down with was Mike Trout, the best baseball player in the world, which is crazy. So I'm going to be so honest with you. How do you top that? I don't know.
The first break that Josh does with y'all is with Mike freaking Trout. I know. How crazy, surreal. Yeah. I told you this whenever I was editing it, it was a very humbling and I was so grateful of just being able to, I wasn't even there. I was not at the break, but I was editing the content and seeing Josh look up to his idol and get that moment with him. Mike Trout was just down to earth and there to hang out. You kind of being on the side, but seeing how you connected all of the pieces together. It was really cool to see. But how did you actually feel in that moment?
Just really grateful. I think I was just it was weird because I feel like in a way I've manifested things like this, you know, and so I feel like I've seen it in my head, and I don't want it to come off cocky or arrogant or anything, but it was just a cool gratitude moment for me to sit here and be like, I'm literally sitting, he's handing me his cards, and he's looking at me every 2 seconds, just talking to me, having a conversation, and I'm like, I feel like I've manifested this moment, you know, in the sense of I've planned out this business, I've visualized the different content pieces that we are going to make, the things that we are going to create, the way we're innovating and doing things differently as a hobby shop, right? And then to sit across or like look across the table and see Jonah there, I was like, this is awesome. I get to bring my people with me and give him an experience that not everybody in the world gets to experience, you know? So I just think it was a very grateful moment for me and an appreciation moment of this is, I mean, amazing. And honestly, just watching Josh be so excited was so cool for me because he'd been talking about this for a long time. And so to be able to bring all the pieces together to pull this off for him was really cool too. So just appreciation, just goofy, giddy little kid moment, I guess, kind of like, damn, this is awesome.
I know this is a catch-up episode, but I feel like there's a lot of passion/purpose in that content and what you're talking about. You've always talked about how you are very passionate about connecting people and like giving other people opportunities and stuff. Why do you think that is? Why are you so passionate about that?
I don't know. I think I'm just blessed. And again, that sounds weird saying I'm blessed, but I'm lucky, I guess, that I see the good in so many things, right? I'm a adrenaline junkie, I guess you could say, you know, like I'm a thrill seeker. I live for happiness. I live for ecstasy, right? Like I live for those moments. And I try to find them in every little thing I do. So that's why I think I love having a podcast, is because I see the good in everybody, you know, and I think that's more of an abundance mindset type thing that that I've worked on my whole life, you know, and I think organically, even as a kid, I loved seeing my teammates succeed. I was always one of the best players on the team, right? But when somebody else did something great, I was so fucking jacked up. Like that was like the coolest thing ever to me when I was playing catch with my throwing partners, you know, when I was playing ball, whether it was collegiate, high school, collegiate, major league, like I always wanted to get them better. I'm like, bounce the fucking curveball, I'll get it, you know, like, and so I don't know, it was just something I've always got dopamine from. I want to see other people do well. I believe the world is abundant. I think that we're here as human beings to educate, inspire, motivate, right? And use our experiences in life to share those with others and connect with others. That's what I feel like it means to be human. So I just feel lucky that I have chosen a profession and an industry and something, and I did it on purpose, right? Like I've chosen my life strategically where I've made business and entrepreneurship around things that bring me joy, that bring others joy, that connect people, right? And if I'm going to make money and choose to make money, I want to do it in a way that's healthy and good and, you know, and lasting. So to me, happiness and joy is something that I seek and I look for in others, and I look to try to give to others, you know, or at least connect with others on that. So I don't know. And I don't know where that comes from, honestly. I don't know if it was something that, because my parents are not like, my dad's a very positive person, but my mom's not like crazy positive. So it wasn't this thing that we were like these ultra positive people growing up, right, you know, and grew up in Jersey where everybody's so cynical and all that. But I don't know. It's just the way I am. And I just feel like maybe being a bigger person, I feel like I can put my arm around somebody and inspire them, motivate them, coach, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it's been cool for me. And I just love that role and I enjoy that. And that's what I enjoy doing. I love empowering people and seeing people succeed. It's just, I don't know. I think that's what it means to be human. I really do.
I had to get y'all a little bit of some deep talk from Anthony, but we're going to keep moving. Following that, we hopped on a plane. The Miley Cyrus song just popped in my head. I'm so sorry. The ADHD is crazy today because I almost started singing it when I said that.
That would be wild.
I'm not going to do it. I've sung on camera before.
In USA?
Yes, wow. You knew.
Yeah.
Anyway, we literally got on a plane at 4:00 in the morning, hauled ass to Dallas, did a not even 24-hour content shoot with Josh, hopped on a plane that night and headed to Cleveland. Not a fan. Sorry if you're from Cleveland. For the mother effing national.
It was your first national. What
Dude.
You thought it was cool?
Yeah, actually, yeah, you know why? Hey, T, in the top of my backpack, there are 3 cards. So they have created a monster, not me. I'm not talking about me. Robbie Olivier has like monsters. Okay, well, y'all introduced me to everything. I understand somewhat cards. You know what? No, I do understand cards.
What did you understand about your Pam Anderson card?
Well, you know what? You can try to loud cap me, but I'm going to get ahead of it. I'm going to show the cards on camera. So we go to the National,
We already
right?
curse on this camera, but now we're showing nudity. That's unbelievable. You're wild.
We'll blur it out.
Okay.
She's naked. I should have just showed my Drew Brees cards. So anyway, they're teaching me. We go to the National to get content, and I'm holding the camera, and I happen to be picking through some cards, right? I'm like, I kind of want to get into this. Maybe I'll collect Drew Brees, maybe JJ Watt. And as we're going through the what do you call that? The racks of cards.
Yeah, racks of cards. Yeah.
I come across this, maybe it was you that came across it and pulled it.
I saw it first, I think. And I was
of course he did. He pulls out this Pam Anderson card. It's a Playboy picture. It's double-sided. I'm not going to show the other side because it's like a lot. But yeah.
1980s Bush in there.
Okay.
What?
We didn't have to say it, but anyway. So he pulls this card. I love
that there was a piece of tape over her boobs though. Like at one point, somebody
did try to hide it.
Yeah, try to hide it.
Somebody else took it off. Was it you? It was probably you. But he pulls it. I'm like, oh, that's really sick. In my head, I'm like, I cannot buy this. Like, this cannot be my first purchase, like card purchase. So we leave the table for a few hours. We're working, looking for specific things. And right before we left, I was like, I got to go get it. So I went back and got it. Decided that, yes, I was going to collect Drew Brees. I got this cool one. It's not worth much, but it's really cool. And I'm going to start a Playboy collection because we looked at a couple of them.
Yeah, that one's really cool.
And a Nicole Smith. Anyway.
She's not nude in that one, huh?
No. Yeah. Just glamorous.
Just glam.
Holding a towel over her. Yeah.
So if anybody doesn't know what the National is and the way that we're casually saying this, it's the National Sports Cards and Collectibles Convention. They do it every single year. It's usually, in some big city, and vendors from all over the country come and show off their collections, sell cards, interact. There's all kinds of events. And so everybody from the hobby, that's a little slang term too for collectors, the hobby, come there throughout the country, store owners to collectors to fans to athletes. Athletes go there to sign autographs for people and stuff too. So it's just a great event. It really is. And there was hundreds of thousands of people and billions of dollars in that building, which again, that's why I think it's so cool asking somebody for the first time, like, how crazy was the money that was in there and the money that was being spent? It's unbelievable, right?
I was standing behind a table for a deal to get content, but I watched money just flow, and it's like in the middle there's thousands of people everywhere, and people are just
hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands.
You're hearing a deal about 90 grand, can you do 100? I'm like, what this is Monopoly money or real money? Like, for real? It's insane. And the way people are hustling and just like on a mission, you could enjoy it, like, for sure. I feel like we definitely had a good balance of both. But it was really freaking cool. Again, even if you're not into cards, I lost y'all because they had the original Power Rangers suits, and they had the Marvel Captain America shield and everything. And I wandered off, and I was like taking pictures of everything. Lost him and Jonah. Y'all went to some meeting with Panini? No,
Panini or Topps or
I don't know. Lost them, but it's really cool for collectors in general. I learned a lot. I think it was a little overwhelming, but definitely a once in a lifetime experience, especially the first time. So I was really grateful I got to go. I think it was also cool to see you and Jonah open up that case at Fanatics with Nate.
Oh, yeah.
So you want to talk a little bit about that and what that was like?
Yeah, so you're talking about like
Josh's.
Josh's cards. Yeah, so again, part of the players dealer is doing logistical work for these guys, and so when we went to Dallas the day before, we went to Josh's place and we picked up a bunch of cards and started his vault. So we brought it over to our Fanatics rep and started Josh Jung's vault with Fanatics Collect, and so that was awesome. And we opened up the case, and people were just in awe of all the cards that he had. Fanatics came over, and their whole social media team kind of put some light on it. It was really cool. So we made some content with Fanatics Live. Fanatics Collect, Fanatics Live, Fanatics in general. So, it was just, again, that's what you go to those places for, to kind of connect and network with those people and be around the big dogs. And that was really cool just to see. And again, just we're doing things different in the hobby and in the industry, which is really, really cool to me. I like being different. I love doing things and trailblazing a different, way and things like that. So to work with high-end athletes and, a World Series champion and to drop those cards off, I think says something about our shop, the way that athletes trust us, the way they look at us. And for us to be able to deliver for Josh is an awesome thing to provide that service. So, it was awesome. And Nate Fisher is the man. Yeah.
Yeah, he was great. I do want to shout you and Jonah out for another reason. So as I'm learning, vintage is like crazy, like the I don't want to say obsession, but like
what vintage?
How serious the hunting for vintage gets. Like again, as I'm carrying this heavy ass Blackmagic camera, I'm literally sweating, almost sprinting, power walking for sure, through the National, trying to follow Robbie. Trying to find a freaking, was it an Ernie?
Ernie Banks rookie.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he found it.
Oh, he did. But the reason I want to shout out you and Jonah is because y'all came across a Jackie Robinson. And it was a very sought after card. Expensive, rare. But
it was a high grade Jackie Robinson too.
And if you're not a card person, you might not understand completely. But you and Jonah caught something that no one else caught. Sales were being made. I mean, this card was wanted in New York for
the Sotheby's auction. Yeah,
and you
awesome.
and Jonah caught something, like his eye is spectacular. And you noticed it as well. And then later on, weeks later, it came out that what y'all caught was what was wrong with it. And that, I think, speaks to who we have in the shop and the quality of the people working around us, you as well, and how knowledgeable and skilled y'all are in the field.
No, absolutely. And I think you said it. Jonah Smith, my card specialist and my partner over at, the retail spot, our collectible shop in Baton Rouge, dude is unbelievable. And that's what I always say, he's the grading king. Like, dude can look at a card and know if it's going to get a 9 or a 10, or pick out spots and things that you just never saw. So his natural eye is unbelievable. And he grabbed the slab and knew it right away that it was trimmed. And that, trimming a card is a big no-no in card world. And, people do that to try to make the edges sharper, or the corner sharper so it gets a higher grade. And that's what determines the value. And this PSA 8 was a 6-figure card, and then it was deemed that it was trimmed and altered. So it's going to affect the price of it. It's going to affect the authenticity of it and that kind of stuff. So, Jonah is the man. It's why I've chose to, build around him and try to make sure that, he's always happy and the shop, runs because of him. And that's who I do the players dealer with, that's my guy that, I feel so confident to work with athletes and be like, I know a lot about cards. I know a lot about the business. I know a lot about the industry. Right. But Jonah touches and handles cards every single day. I'm not as hands-on every single day in the shop like he is. So, I mean, just the minute details, even like teaching Mike Trout and Josh how to like rip the little penny sleeves so that way you don't ding the corners. Like, it was one of the coolest things. Yeah.
You had to teach them that too?
We didn't have to teach them. It was just, he was doing it and they were like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, well, I do this because, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, oh my God, it's like great. Like, and so just little things like that. That's where we're educating and teaching and stuff. And again, Jonah's the man, but he learned that because we went on a trip to go see DJ LeMahieu in spring training in Tampa. And then we went and visited Certified Sports Guarantee, which is a huge grading company. And so we met their head grader and he taught Jonah how to do that. And so again, those are the kind of experiences and the things that we're doing. We're meeting these types of people that are educating us. Then that way we can go educate, another group of people and stuff like that. So it's really cool to see that stuff. And that's the fun part about our job.
I could keep diving into questions, but we are on a little bit of a time crunch. So moving to the next trip, I didn't get to go. You just got back to, I got kicked off this trip.
To throw that one in there.
No, it's okay. We had stuff to handle here. You just got back from LA from Veecon. What is Veecon? What did y'all do there?
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
Yeah, I've been traveling. I've been going. Yeah. LA,
it's not
Dallas,
it's not
Dallas. It's not happening stopping anytime soon. We got New York this week,
4 a.m.
Yeah, I think I've just got tired just like thinking about it. But no, Veecon is awesome. Gary Vaynerchuk is a huge entrepreneur, marketing expert, really a leader in the industry of innovation and entrepreneurship. His biggest thing is he wants to be the most influential entrepreneur ever to walk the earth when his time is done, type thing. And just just a badass dude, honestly. I just think he's a really great leader in our industry, in our space, and the way that he speaks about things, whether it's mindset, business, education, all these different things. I think that the guy is awesome, and he's from Jersey, so I'm a little partial to Gary, and we know a lot of the same people, and we've crossed paths, and I've followed his content for a while. And so in 2021, when crypto was really popping off, Gary had an idea. He's always talked about starting his own Pokemon type intellectual property, right? IP. And so when everything was popping off with Pokemon cards and all this and crypto, he decided to utilize, blockchain technology and NFTs, which is a digital collectible. So it's a little bit in our space, and he's a huge card collector, that kind of stuff. And he created this brand called VFriends. And he calls it his Pokemon meets Sesame Street, meets Marvel, meets Disney type thing. And he thinks he's going to be the next Disney with this. But it's really cool, and what Gary's all about is positivity and optimism. And so his whole thing is the right mindset and just having a positive outlook on life, being grateful, taking accountability, self-awareness, right? All these emotional intelligence things that I think are important to teach alpha males and business leaders and that kind of stuff, right? And so VFriends is a kid's kind of concept, right? Where these characters, and there's 200 characters, just like there was in Disney when it was first created, right? Or Marvel and comics and things like that. And he created these things like adaptable alien, and everything has an alliteration, right? And patient pig and eager eagle, and it's all things that are all positive. And so he's teaching kids at a young age how to utilize emotional intelligence. So he just came out with a kid's book. He's got, figures, he's got cards with these things, and he's basically getting them out there to the world. And part of what somebody got when they bought his non-fungible token, his NFT, when they first dropped, because they were pretty expensive, was this pass to a conference that he put on every single year for the first 3 years of the program. And it was called Veecon. And that's what we went to. So it's a pop culture seminar conference, business leaders meet / collectibles / a little bit of everything that is Gary Vaynerchuk. And so we went out there to LA. We got invited by his team to set up at Gary's garage sale. Gary was kind of known for garage sale hopping and picking things and reselling them on the internet, that kind of stuff. So he has a garage sale area where we got to set up our collectibles, our sports cards, all the kinds of stuff that we do in the buy, sell, trade world. And we went out there and kind of supported Gary. We listened to some speakers, we interacted and networked. And so it was a great event. We were out there for 2 or 3 days, and it was a cool event. Yeah. So it was our first time going to a VCon, and hopefully he keeps doing it, because this was the third one that was part of the original drop and stuff. So really cool event. Always love being in LA. Super inspirational. You're always around really smart people that are doing cool stuff. And it's fun to get out of Louisiana and see how people are doing things differently. And it was fun because I got to bring Maya Jung, who is one of our retail workers, who I think is going to have a good role at our shop going forward. She's just a really great young mind and creative and that kind of stuff. She has her own clothing brand. So I got to bring her out there and introduce her to different versions of entrepreneurship. We listened to some talks, and I think she got a taste of business seminars and culture and that kind of stuff. So it was fun for me to kind of give her that, or allow her to partake in that experience with us.
The big boy is coming. You've mentioned Fanatics, and I say the big boy because the players dealer is going to be key for all of your businesses to come together and kind of go. But Fanatics, and we talked about priorities with everything going on, it's really hard to stay on top of all of it, right? And I asked you the other day, what's the sweet spot? What needs to be focused on? What's the priority? And you said it's Fanatics Live. Can you let everybody know what just happened? What new adventure is happening now? Yeah,
and I think, again, it goes into our DNA of everything we're doing. Fanatics Live is a live breaking online shopping site, basically, and it's ran by Fanatics, obviously. Fanatics owns the sports industry. Let's just be honest. They have a monopoly with everything that they do, and they call themselves the ultimate fan experience. So whether you like collectibles, whether that's autographs, memorabilia, merchandise, they have the licenses with all the major sports groups to be able to produce products that fans like to buy, right? And then they provide in-person experiences, blah, 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 right? Well, one of the new additions that they have is this online breaking site. So you can bid on things and pay with Apple Pay online when somebody's remotely selling things right away in real time, right? So we just got approved to be on there as one of their breakers, and we're looking to expand that partnership with Fanatics. I think one of my exit strategies, probably the exit strategy with Cards and Culture, and again, not that I don't want to be in Cards and Culture, because I just want them underneath their umbrella, and I always want to work for Cards and Culture, but my goal with Cards and Culture and our media team is to be an attractive acquisition point for Fanatics, where they say, you have done an incredible job highlighting the fan experience in sports and pop culture, right? And that to me is what I think Fanatics brings to the table. And so, in line with that business plan, we're now on their breaking channel. We buy all of our merchandise and our inventory from them. We're going to their fan fest this weekend coming up. So everything's kind of fallen in line in the business plan. And so this is just another step, and I think milestone for our business, and an awesome opportunity to grow our revenue, to grow our brand equity, and be a player in the hobby and collectibles industry.
How validating is that for you, knowing how much work you've put in over the past couple years to get a foot in the door with Fanatics? And y'all, it's not just a foot in the door. Let me backtrack. This is huge. Not everybody gets to break on Fanatics, and the fact that they sought you and your team out to do that, to give you that opportunity, and their marketing, and you're breaking in the Fanatics studio in New York.
Super cool.
They're seeking him out at the National for content. At Veecon, they hunted him down and got content with you. So clearly a big fan of what you've done. And I say you, like your team.
Yeah.
Everybody here included. But how validating is that to just, like you're in cahoots with Fanatics now?
It feels good. I think me
He's
a
so
lot.
mellow.
Right?
I know. I'm trying to get something.
No,
He's
it does. It feels good.
Y'all.
No, it feels good. It feels good.
No
No doubt. It feels good. But
not
I think
too
you
high,
know this,
not
right?
too low.
Yeah, that's it. I live in the middle way, right? Like there's still a ton of work to be done. So yes, it's awesome. I like to pat myself on the back. It feels good, right? But also pat myself on the ass and be like, keep going. Let's go, motherfucker. So like, it's awesome. It's good validation. I think it's validation that we're on the right track, right? The work that we're putting in, the people that we're hiring, the content that we're creating, the experience that we're providing is going in the right direction. And I think that's the validation that I appreciate, is like people are seeing what we're doing. That's awesome. And that's what I need to know. So now I can just go put my head down and keep going. So now the next step is to learn how to utilize this platform better and continue to grow with Fanatics and be an appealing subject for them to keep marketing around and helping grow the hobby. And that's really what this is all about, is growing the hobby and creating a fan experience and connecting with people. And that's really what it always comes back down to. So, yeah.
So perfect segue to rounding out the show and looking towards the future. Because the next time, I don't know if y'all know, I only get invited on this show when somebody bails. But anyway, literally every single time.
You've been on here 3 times. I sought you out the first time.
No.
There's not a lot
Something happened with scheduling because I was driving
You
from
were going
New
to come on
Orleans
the
to
show
Baton Rouge.
anyway.
And you were like, hey, are you able to come on up and in today?
Right,
I was
well,
like,
you were going to come on the
sure.
show anyway. Relax.
Anyway, not the
Everybody
point.
comes on the show that works.
The reason
at
I
the shop.
say that is because next time I'm on this couch and we're having a similar catch-up conversation, what do you want to be telling me?
Good question.
I don't know how long it's going to be. It'll probably be a few months, maybe
That's
longer.
awesome.
But what do you want to be telling me next time I'm sitting on this couch? It's kind of hard because I want to
be talking about how we got funding for the players dealer. That's what I want to be talking. I want to say we partnered with somebody. Somebody has seen the vision and wants to be an executive producer with us, whether that's a streaming service, whether that's a Topps, whether it's a Fanatics, whether it's a PSA, right? Or somebody or an outside investor, whether, building a team of athletes that see the value in this and say, that's really cool content. And I want to be able to be on the ownership side and help you produce it and do different things, right? So I think that would be really cool. That would be, again, validating, right? Somebody saw the vision of the players dealer. They saw the value in it. They saw the value proposition for the clients, for the people that'll be watching it, and the entertainment value. And somebody, decided to foot the bill to say, hey, we got $1 million production budget for the next six months. Go and produce, X amount of content from your media team. Yeah, so I think that would be really cool to have a catch-up episode, and I'm putting it out there and manifesting it to the world to say the next time that we sit down, we'll be talking about that and just where we're at with that process and what's about to come, and that the shop is expanding, right? I think that's another thing is that player's dealer, I think, validates us to say, okay, cool, now we need to go get this bigger footprint that we've wanted, this better spot in Perkins Row to bring the media team underneath the same roof and be able to create this. We already have a badass, dope fan experience in the shop, but the way that I visualize, doubling our space or tripling our space would really blow it out the water for fans and pop culture enthusiasts. So those two things I think would be the big bucket items. Players dealer has funding and that we're getting ready to go produce or we're already shooting and things like that. And then we have expanded into a bigger space in Perkins Row or another state or something along those lines. And media and retail are under the same roof again.
Y'all heard it. So I don't know when I'll be back, but we'll check in and see what happens. I think I did a pretty good job.
It was above average, but we also went to 156. So.
Above average is what I just got. Above average.
Above average is good, isn't it?
I don't want to be above average.
What do you want to be then? You want to be average?
Great.
Okay. Well, technically is great above average.
Oh my God. Don't start. Don't start.
Great, amazing, everything falls above average.
You can have the host roll back.
Thank you. It is my show.
Yeah. I'm not closing it out. You close it out.
No, thank you guys for being here. Make sure you guys share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure you guys go follow Abby on Instagram. She's a great personality. She's got her great show, Valley Vision, and all the great things she's doing with culture media. I do want to put that out there to the world. I think you're doing an absolute incredible job of what you're doing. Things have been a shit show for the last 6 months, moving around, and you've built a great team of people that care about you and about our business, which is awesome. And I think you're just going to continue to grow. So it's great to watch you and your media and your content. And I think you're doing great stuff, shedding light onto our great athletes here at LSU. I'm excited to see what you do in the fall. And as we continue to expand this media side of things, I'm excited to see the people that you bring on full time and how we grow this media team. So thank you for everything you do. Thank you for your time, for sitting on here and interviewing me and asking me these great questions. Thank you everybody for listening. If you're still here, it means you're rock stars and you're loyal, or you just love us, or you're bored, one of the two. But either way,
don't care.
We're grateful for your time. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.